So there's kind of a oops-a-daisy. That's not the move. Good day. Welcome to Do It Now. We're going to do a bit of Let's Play. The game is No Rest for the Wicked with the Together edition. This got introduced to me by a close friend, and I am absolutely loving it. It's still early access, so not everything's there yet. But I started with this character as a solo on sort of easy mode, intelligence-based, so wands and staves. And then I made a very similar character in a group mode with my sort of Saturday friends. And this one's for online play specifically. Almost the same build, slightly different equipment. And then I wanted, and this one's on our realm is on the medium difficulty. And then this one is the serum armor that you get from buying the game early. So it's full set of mesh armor. So I wanted to try that out with a full strength heavy build. So in this case, it was a melee only character. And this one is on hard mode. This is my current solo play. Quite an engaging game. Very different in different styles. So I think together we're going to go through and build a dexterity character. I'm thinking about having like maybe a bow, spear and shield combo, and then like dual daggers or dual short swords or something like that for up close, and then staying in kind of the normal weight. So I'm going to choose the male. I'm going to... Let's go there, but then I'm going to customize. Oh, I can't use this name, of course. I have kind of a default name for these sorts of rogue-esque characters. I'm going to use Ladro. So you can start with that face, which is fine. Thinking about the ranger, archer type. No. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, okay. That, I think, makes sense to me. What do I get for choices? I like making them gray. And there is a decent beard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Happy there. I am going to make the eyes big. So I'm kind of these characters will give you a bit of a head start story-wise. This class is you're a serum, C-E-R-I-M, and to my understanding at this point, you're kind of like a warrior race, almost mythological, something that's like, you know, half demigod or something like that. Incredible power, and you only ever really appear when you're needed, this class. And of course the world is going awry, and in marches a serum just on cue. Let's go bit wide here. There. Okay. Not hardcore. Ladro. And let's create our own realm. I think I can create more. Yes. This will be called Do It Now. Oops. now. That makes more sense. Select your path. We're going to go for it again. So this is your intended experience, Path of the Chosen. Enemy HP is reduced 20%, enemy damage and enemy damage by 50%. This is the easier mode, Path of the Torn. And Path of the Unspoken, the enemy's HP is increased by 20%, the enemy damage by 30%, while greater poise makes enemies' attacks harder to interrupt. And also, you face more enemies than ever. So there's more of them. They have more, like, sort of poise is how much they resist your sort of status effects by being hit. So imagine someone, like, bracing with a shield. That's poise. So they'll be harder to interrupt and break. And a brutal, punishing world awaits. So we're going to do a brutal, punishing world. Because that's kind of where this game lives. It's a challenging game, and that's its intent. Okay. So we're going to go in. But again, for yourself, play it however you enjoy playing it. We're going to do main story. I'm skipping the prologue. It's something that I'll leave for you to discover when you pick up the game yourself. Okay, so we get a sparrow horn. That's from the prologue. Right now, we just have fists. I'll give you a quick rundown. We have inventory here. So on you, you have weapon slots, offhands. There's a hat, a chest, pants, gloves. There's 3 ring slots. Right now I only have 1. There's 4 tool slots open. There's 4 total tools, but you may have 6 slots if you want to have backups of tools. So these you will unlock through getting plague ichors. And then on this side, you have gear, and again, these are locked, and plague ichor will unlock that. This is the food tab. This is consumables. This is resources. This one is like special items, so like fallen embers and gems and things. We'll learn more about those. And then there's a keychain. Okay, the rest of your tabs up top. This one is a character tab. Shows you all of your abilities. Focus is to use special abilities. Stamina is to be able to do regular attacks. Health is health. And then strength, dex, intelligence, and faith are specific to weapon types. So there's weapons in the game that will require you to have a certain amount of each of these. And there's some of them that are blended. So there's like strength, dex weapons. And you need some of both to be able to use them. Oh, there's pure strength weapons. So in this case, we're going to go pure dex. Equipment load down here. I'll explain that in a moment, but it helps you on the right with your weight class. So right now we're a fast at 21% of our weight. Equipment load lets you wear heavier stuff without affecting your weight class. Focus is how much of that sort of magic energy you have. And then stamina here is sort of you quickly tire out, and we'll see that pretty quickly. Okay, so we'll start just moving for now. The rest of those we can explain as we go. I'm pressing Y to pick up horseshoe crab there, mushroom. We're going to use these to craft food. For now, give a little punch to these guys. For now, we just want to pick up everything we can. We're going to have decent inventory space. When we get an axe, we can start chopping these trees up. But for now, let's go talk to this dude.
I knew it. Should have never brought you on board. You'll never make it to Sacrament. From here, this coast is crawling. If there isn't. The waves. Can you feel them, Father?
He's losing it. Forgot to mention, the serum are mute, it seems. They don't speak. So everyone talks to them. They just kind of stare at them with their white eyes and pale skin and giant arms compared to their body length. And as you see, as we progress, their physical capabilities are pretty amazing compared to the average person. At a later point in the game, you end up like one-shotting these trees and cutting them down with a single swing of an axe. For now, just getting some crabs, getting some XP, exploring the beach, looting what I can. I don't have any weapons yet. And it'll take a moment before we actually get the right tools to be able to chop the things, and before we get the appropriate... Look at that, woodcutter's axe already. Hello, friend. Nice combat here, so you dodge away. I'm gonna have a little munch of food. Oof. There we go. No weapons. Darn. Fishing rod. Okay, so we have an axe and a fishing rod. We just gotta equip them. So we're gonna go to this first symbol. Tab over to gear. Fishing rod. Axe. Each of these have tiers. There's 3 tiers. So copper becomes iron and then silver. Pine becomes spruce and then birch. Look for the circle on the serum on your character. I'll explain that a bit more as we see more of them. There's a few more over here. Let's go grab a couple. Actually, we'll do this from the top. So just up here, there's a thing called a whisper. These are kind of like your checkpoints or fast travel locations, but you don't automatically get them for free. So just finding it is good. Turns into this other shape. Now when I click on it, it'll open the whisper menu. Come on. Open the whisper menu. I don't know why this isn't working. Let's move away from it and come back. So even these little rats, they have rough cut meat. That's going to be a cooking ingredient. You'll get to a point where rough cut meat is no longer useful to you, but you'll still end up kind of collecting it periodically. So there's kind of a oops-a-daisy. That's not the move. Okay, so at least registered that whisper. Oh, maybe I can't do that yet. I'm kind of getting it wants me to go to Sacrament first. Okay. So let's make our way for now. We'll come back to this. We're going to go up the beach. We have an axe now. So we want to be cutting these trees. So have a look on my character. As I cut, you'll see a green circle come around and there's a red bar at the top. You want to hit Y to start the cut. Hit Y again as close as you can to the top of where that... So just before it gets into the red, you want to make your cut. And it's a timing thing. You'll get a perfect, or you'll get an early, or you'll get a late. The perfect is, I'm going to say generous. But it's a nice little rhythm, and all of the tools move at about the same speed. So you always want to look for that symbol to be on your character. It's very similar to the stamina symbol that you see as I kind of dash around. Wall climbing, I'm holding A. Some friends here, another guy with a sword. Let's give him this one. I can hold and charge up. No, you don't. Whoops. Almost fell off the wall here.
Come out, come out.
Ouch. Nope. So there's little rhombuses that you can see on my character panel there, especially when in combat. So I have the 1 right now. So if I hold down right bumper, I'll have access to this row. The right trigger will give me a row that's what's on my person. This is what's on my weapon with right bumper. And then left bumper is stuff that's on my offhand. So if I'm holding a shield, I can also put items on that. So let's leave that guy for now. Actually, you know what? No, we can get him. This is the thing. I just need to get a starter weapon going, and then we're going to be off to the races. So I can do a charge-up attack, and then I'll do my right bumper and X when I have 50 focus. You can see the focus just above my health bar, 0 out of 100 right now. So I have to build up some focus by hitting him. And actually, if I hit him, if I open this first, no weapon. If I hit him with my charge up, it'll do even more damage, and I'll get even more focus from it. Yeah. Kicked him off the ledge. Nice. Okay, let's have a little munch. He didn't have anything on him. Darn. Well, good start for tools, unlucky start for weapons. Now, do I have stuff to make some basic food? I do know another little spot. So, any of these fire pits, you can make food. Right now, I only have one recipe, which is mushroom soup. So I'm going to be collecting herbs and mushrooms as I go. Open it, press D-pad up for maximum. And your guy's going to make their food. There you go. Just got 4 more. B to exit. Now right back here, there's a nice little hidden spot. I'm going to tightrope walk across here. There's a lot of these tightrope walks. Actually, I'm going to get this part first, because I can always swim up if I miss that jump. Chest here, chance for a weapon. No, got a ring. Rune damage focused. So that ring, see how it's red? Oh, I do have a weapon. I have a wand. After all my mages. Oh, well, we'll start with something. Okay, so attack damage reduced by 11%, but rune damage increased by 29%. So instead of hitting things, when you use your sort of spells, I'll say in this case, you get more damage. Which, for the case of intelligence-focused caster, that makes sense. So my one of my casters has that ring on, or an even stronger version of that ring. But that's classes of items. So these ones are sort of common, and you can see there's gem slots, and if you gem it all the way up, this will turn sort of golden yellow. You can also put enchantments on them, which will turn it blue, and then you'll get some blue writing mixed in. And the other one is called Plagued, where there's what I call a Faustian bargain. So it sort of gives you a benefit, but it also gives you a debuff or something it takes away. So you get something good and something bad. The quote is, "It giveth and it taketh away." So let's go down just around the beach. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew yet. Anywhere you go, there's always like a hidden spot underneath. The level design is beautiful and really complex. Fishing locations here if you go closer to camera. Again, for fishing, watch near the character, not near the fishing area. There's the circle. Hit it at the right spot, you're in. this does go up to a tightrope walk. And you know what? Let's do it. So some of them are a prize in terms of you get an item, or you get a little chance at an item. So there's a chest up there. And we'll get a bit of a vista from there as well. These right here, oops. Let's get back up there. Can I just climb it? No. So there's a version of the right herbs there. And I'll show you what those look like so that you can harvest some of your own. Right here. So those are Artemisia herbs, which is the main one you're going to need right now. But there's different herbs for different regions. So right now we're in the first area. Get this tree going as well. If you get the perfect chops twice, you will get twice the resources, first of all. But also, all of the harvestable things, like the trees and the dig spots, like this is a dig spot if you have a shovel. And then these, right here, there's one, are mines. Little, needs a pickaxe, so that gives you minerals. All of them will give you double materials if you get perfect. But also, there's larger items in the loot table. So trees are usually mostly wood. But especially the dig spots, the fishing, and the mining, if you get perfect swings every time, sometimes you'll get pretty significant bonuses. Like extra resources will spawn. Well, we got our first level up. So I'm going to start feeding dexterity, even though I don't yet have that dexterity weapon. I am going to start feeding some equipment load and stamina. So you get 3 for now, and you can see that 1 stamina is going to move me from 50 to 54 base stamina. Dexterity here is not going to affect my current weapon because I'm using an intelligence-based weapon. You can see by the little book picture under the attribute bonus. But that's all I've found so far. And then equipment load is going to change how much I can carry on me. I'm going from 170 to 180 pounds of equipment load. It's not really a problem yet, but it is something that is going to come up really quickly. So I'm going to spec for that in advance. I want to kind of stay in the normal range, but I'm hoping early on to be able to wear leather and then maybe transition into mesh and stay in the normal without getting into the heavy. So I'll show you really quick what I mean by that. You see this scale down below my character. So right now I have a shield, and I can put that shield on in my offhand slot, which is right here. So that shield has a weight of 10. Right now my weight is at 45 out of 80, and you can see the red bar will show you that when I put this shield on, yep, I've gained weight because it's what I'm actually wearing that affects my weight, but I'm still in the fast category. When I cross that first bar, I'll be into the normal, and the second bar, I will be into the heavy. So my melee character is deep into that heavy, and both of my intellect characters have been in this fast space. So I want to really live in the normal, and that changes how your character moves, rolls, fights, stamina use, everything about how your character moves. So I want to live as close to the heavy as I can while making use of the normal space. So think of it kind of like a weight class in a sport. You know, you don't want to be in the bottom of your weight class. You want to be the biggest, strongest person in your weight class. And you want to be even stronger than it seems possible in your weight class. So that's what allows you to be sort of dominant in that field of competition. So same thing here. I want to be wearing as much equipment as I can. So you can mix and match and have, you know, for example, gloves, because they're quite small. You can wear gloves of a higher class. So it goes cloth. Here we go. First little shots. I'll show you some spells. So that is, I believe, Fire Dart with this staff. Or this wand, sorry. Yeah, Fire Dart and Fire Blast. Fire Blast is a fun spell. It's a good wand. So I find dashing works best to get through these barrels. Artemisia Herb, excellent. A little hidden space here. Pop these open, kind of dance around. So right now, because I'm fast, I can move that quickly. Nicer version of a shield. These are research papers. Help you to sort of progress what you can craft yourself. And then some vials of focus. So those are short-term consumable buffs. These horseshoe crabs, great for making food once you get the right recipes. Now, seems odd, but fishing space here. I've been through these maps quite a bit now. I'm a little over 100 hours into this game. So I kind of know where I'm going, and I'm just going to take you on a bit of a patrol route on the way up to Sacrament. So instead of following up the road here, I'm going to jump away, and I'm going to swim across under this waterfall. You got to check under a waterfall. A lot of them in this game have lovely prizes. Look at that. Leather pants, durability, repair powder, and another shield choice. So at this point, I'm going to throw these pants on, because they're going to be better than my pants. I can see already that they're 29. If I depress the left stick, I'll get a compare, and mine are just a plain with a 9. So I'm going to switch the leather pants on, and you can see that I've now transitioned into normal. Just like that. Leather pants was enough to do the job. So this is the same weight, but I like it better stylistically, so you can also make those choices. Sometimes it doesn't make a difference. Sometimes the shield will be... oh, actually, wait a minute. Yeah, so that little archer symbol shows that that is a dexterity-based shield in terms of requirements. But these early shields, it doesn't really matter because the requirement is 10, and the base value of every skill is also 10. So you're going to be able to use all of the starter shields. Eventually the gear is going to ask you... Oops, missed my timing. Eventually the gear is going to ask you to specialize, and that's part of why we're doing this dexterity build. Got some carp, nice. There's a tree here and a chest. Another axe. Lovely. So we'll get to that upper area afterwards. You can also just melee with the wands, even though it is the magic weapon. Now, I don't think we should do this passage just yet, but we do have the option to. There's quite a little journey inside here. We'll do that when we have more abilities, especially when we have a light source. That's important. Because in this game, when you're in a dungeon and it is dark, it is dark. There's no light. So there's a little jump move you can do here. Not that. Come on, my dude. Get on there. And over and in. And you can get into this room. There's another way into this room. I'll show you from the outside. But that jump move is a bit of a shortcut if you get it down. Here we go. Mesh pants. Even heavier pants. I'm not ready for mesh, but more repair powder. A light source, so I could go down there with the torch. That's not an enjoyable experience. But we do need to get some weapons and some combat capability developed before we go deal with Sacrament. So scoop that up. Okay, I'll show you the other ability. That's Fire Dart, and the other one is Fire Blast. So this is Fire Blast. Ooh. Okay, still don't have a pickaxe. Still don't have a shovel. I have, I think, maybe 3 axes. I have 3 axes, and I have a fishing rod. Okay, so our mission is to get up to Sacrament. This path isn't going to go there because we don't have this ladder here. Let me show you this again. See how this ladder doesn't reach down to the ground? We have to get all the way up and around so that we can kick this ladder down and be able to climb up there. So that's kind of our task right now. This here is the sewers. We'll eventually come back and deal with that. You know what? Let's develop a little bit. Dream space is to find a bow. Best chance to get a bow is in Sacrament at the woodcutter once we get there. But I'd love to have a bow before getting into Sacrament, because there is a pretty big fight. There's a big creature there to go fight before you go in. Focus. So you see now, before when I was, let me pop out again and do it. So if I take these, if I take off my pants, now I'm a fast again. See how I dash? It's like a lunge, right? Now, let's put these leather pants back on. Now I have this elongated roll. And if I switch, do I own enough stuff? I don't think I do. No, I don't own enough stuff to get to heavy. Well, in that case, I'll wear these mesh for now, just for the extra armor, because it doesn't make me different. Okay, so we're going to come down this way. Again, hidden door. We have just this one torch, which we'll put in our offhand. And that's going to lose durability the whole time it's lit. This is perhaps foolhardy, but I think it's possible. Well, worth a view. We don't have that capability yet. We're not doing enough damage to bring those boys down. Okay, so let's make our way around. I will take the torch off and put this shield back on so that the torch maintains some durability. Okay, we saw this area. Another great node there. So, you can walk up here from the fire. You can walk up this way and go into this courtyard and start a fight. But there's people up on this walkway, and they're going to mess with you. So this guy, this one up here that we fought, let's pop here. The guy that we knocked off the edge. If you go up into his domain, you can actually get even higher, I think, if you... Come on. Gotta come back around. Okay. So this jump you cannot make. Little courtyard fight. There might be somebody on that ledge shooting down. So right now I'm still a ranger. A different variety than I intended. So as I use this spell, I'm building up focus.
Come on.
So that I can use big spender spell. Costs me focus. Okay, so my X, the fire dart, is building focus, and the fire blast is costing focus. It costs 50, it says right down below. And fire leaves these burning dot damage over time on them. So he blocked that one, so it was small. Block. So if I dodge near the end of his movement, like that, I can come behind him and get a clean hit. Like that. So you gotta watch the timing and where they come in. Don't be afraid to get up close. You'll take some hits. Fishing rod again. So many duplicate tools, but yet not a full gamut of tools. Always pick up some lumber. At the start of the game, you need so much of these early resources just to develop the city. So you're going to go through this process of sort of contributing to their community as this super being. And part of your contribution is an absolute glut of resources. So you need everything you can pick up. Plus, it's a fantastic XP. So, fantastic. One of my favorite hats in the game. This is the Kindler's broad cap, and it just hangs on the head, and it flops when it needs to flop. I love the movement of this hat, especially in the rain. Super happy to pull that early in the game. So I saw that chest when we couldn't jump across. Here we go, little tightrope walk. And now we're there. Here's the chest. And the result is some coal, some money, and those are weapon shards. So there's weapon shards and armor shards. And those are what's used to upgrade your weapons when you have the smithy in the town. Get some fire darts going on this guy. A blast. Got him. Looking for that bow still. In the interim, though, I'll use the tools I am given. Small vial of defense and some threads. Oh, see, that's this herbs that we want. Get him? I got him. You got me. So I'm just going to use my axe on this one, and I'll show you something afterwards. So I've taken a hit, a second hit. So instead of right bumper to use these abilities, I'm going to use left bumper, or sorry, right trigger. And my X ability for right trigger is a heal. So you automatically get that one, and later on you can change that one out even, and there's a bunch more you can put in. The one that we will put in to go back into that cavern is called Illuminate. And what it does is have like sort of a firebug, firefly situation fly around you, light your way. Sometimes the terrain gets a little stuck. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Use the terrain to your advantage. Here we go. Pickaxe. Outstanding. So, tightrope walking, or on these edges, if you walk, you can have much more control. If you run, and you come at an edge from a run, you will leap off that edge. Not walk to the edge. Not get on the ladder. You will leap off that edge. There's probably people in here. No. Okay, sometimes there is. So, did I put my pickaxe on? I did. Good. Let's see. Money. Okay. So we get these throughout. A bit of flavor text. Here we go. As I raced through the putrid swamp, The Nith rose up to my left and right. The pestilence had rotted their minds, the acidic waters their limbs, leaving only savagery and bloodlust. My sole hope was to reach solid ground, draw my sword, and make a last stand. Even if I were to die, I refused to surrender my corpse to these nauseous waters. From The Adventures in the Wild by Sullen Frost. So they have some lovely flavor text throughout. And if you look now, we are back here. So we're back at the fire, which is good. In case we want to make more food. We got kind of stuck there. Here we go. Back at the fire. Excellent. Actually, we only have 2 food left, so we should make food. And not only are we back at the fire, look at that, we can make 14 now. Outstanding. So we go from 2 to 16. On the bottom bar there, I also have the option for what consumable I want to use. So for the moment, yeah, I'm gonna keep the stamina one out as a down button. So left bumper will hold your shield up, and left trigger will do a shield bash when you have a shield. So now I can also, over here, harvest my first ore. So the first one will be copper, and then you're going to get iron, and then silver. And because I know how much of this stuff you need, I am going to go back and grab 3 ores. I'm going to grab one right here. You know what? Extra space. Extra loop. So part of the point of this is to discover all of the side paths and little hidden gems and areas that these developers have thought to put in their game. So look up top. That's where I fell last time. Right, we were coming up here. So tightrope walk. Here, there, leap. Oh, careful. Across the top. Wonderful. You gotta press A to hop up that little space, and you get some planks. So down behind us, we see the ladder system that we just knocked down. So we have a shortcut that we can use to get back where we were. And we know where we're going next after that. But if you also see to our left, there's a big old chest, and there's a dude with a hammer/axe, looking very menacing in a tight space. So my focus is almost full, so I'm going to go across, and let's deal with him. Open with that, one of these, and I'm going to take him right in the chin, apparently. Stepping back, having some food, throws a Molotov, more food, get some fire on him, get out of the space. It's all about when you dodge, when you return, so it's kind of counter fight. Wait for his thing, and then you go. Level 3. Some jute thread. What do we got? Another intelligence weapon. We have a staff with chain lightning and lightning sweep. Also some research papers. Armor shards. Now, we'll kick this ladder down later on. It'll be part of a quest, so don't get too hung up on trying to find that. Press Y to sidle along the wall. Ooh. Excuse me. In my opinion, the sidling, there's areas where it can be mildly excessive, but it is an interesting mechanic. Okay, we have our first weapon that has some dexterity on it. It's a two-handed curved greatsword. So it's a strength and dexterity weapon, but that's fine because it has dexterity, and it's also at level 10, so again, anyone could use it. Now you notice that I no longer have my shield visible, and when my shield is not visible, I'm also not getting the benefits from my shield, and I'm also not eating up the weight of my shield. So you see my shield is there, but taking my shield on or off does not affect my functional weight. So I've had to lose a lot of armor to be able to hold this weapon, which is not really what I'm aiming to do with this character. But let's give it a try. It's a weapon I've not used. Oh, and maybe I can get a bit of that armor back. So what I'll do again is dexterity. I don't want any strength points. I'll go here. And I'm honestly going to keep feeding this dexterity. You know what? No. I'm going to get a focus point. That takes my focus from 100 to 120 as a top. It's just nice to have that headroom, because there's a lot of abilities that use 100 focus. So it's nice to get that headroom early. You can store up a bit more and get a second move in. Okay, so let's try. We have X with this. It's only a spender. Ooh, almost fell in the hole. We want to pick this up first. Some guard pants. Another herb. Mushroom. Just drop straight down here. Sometimes there's things under here. Not often. Come here, this side. Now, there's yet another space in here. Often, there is some mobs in here. So I'm going to aim to have a fight right behind this wall. I can hear them. There we go, yeah. Let's try out our new ability. Oh, that's alright. Okay, we've learned things. I will demonstrate in a moment. In the chest, two-handed great hammer, leather body armor. Nice. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to wear that while I'm still holding a big two-hander. So, this thing has a move called Knockdown Swirl on the X. Some weapons you can hold up and charge, some you cannot. This has a charge with a forward motion. It seems to be kind of charging forward as you use combos. Some weapons are more directional, some weapons are more close quarter. And then here is holding right bumper and pressing X one time does all of that. That is Knockdown Swirl. So we'll work our way back. Now that we did that little loop. Some lovely fish. And see, because we got perfect, we got 2 carp. Got one here. Got a herb. Fish to the north. There is a gate to the north, but it's not really worth attacking yet. We have to open it from the other side. Oop, too early. Too early. Perfect. So, see, I only got one. Because I missed my timing on 2 of those shots. Okay, and see, we're back to the boat, and we're back to the Saltborn Tower. That's what that this space here is called, the Saltborn Tower. Okay, so now we're going to go back up. We have that shortcut that we unlocked, but we don't need it. We're going to go this way, and we're going to go up these stairs. So, just to show you on the map, this is the tower. We went across this bridge. This is that hidden cave. Okay, we went up here and around. This is the long ladder down. So now we're going to go up these stairs. And our mission is to get here. Okay, right here is that first tower. This is that ladder I was talking about that we have to kick down. We went looping through here. Here's the waterfall, beach. And then right, oh, it doesn't even show up. But right about here is that underground cave where we need light. And we're just coming up from the fire pit. We're going to go up the stairs. Okay. Orient ourselves on the map. We know what we're doing. We have some notices. Dead warriors may fall, but we will not. Upon deaf ears, prayers may fall, but we will not. Struck down, our allies may fall, but we will not. We rise. This little edict put up.
What's this then?
Alright, two to fight. Let's get them to come a little together. Another guy on the wall. See him there? Let's get that one in. Very nice. Cheeky mid-combat loot session. That on the chin. Okay, so there's another mechanic. Now that I'm holding a sword, press left trigger to do a parry. Very important to time your parries well. Not something this character is going to be doing a lot of. Hopefully soon, when I can get that bow going. So I'm going to hop here. Oh, saw me. Nice. That's working well. Decent chest in here. Come on, come on. A little cloth. Some embers. Once we build up a few of those, we'll have a little conversation about what those do. I hear some rats. We're at a stage where this rough cut meat is very useful as a cooking ingredient. You'll reach a stage where that's no longer true. So let's climb up this wall. These crates, you know, some crates have nothing. You just never know what it's going to have, and it'll have one of those little blue balls. And then any one of those has a huge loot table. It could be items, it could be weapons, it could be embers of some kind. So there's enormous chances each time. Good to check them. So we're going to go back this way just a little bit. Another path up here. So you just kind of run into these walls. You have to kind of run into them or sort of jump at them in order to climb. Like if I just walk into this, some of them will let you go up and some won't. These golden ones are usually much better. That's another staff. I'm going to drop in on this guy. Oh, I'm liking this weapon. This is not what we're going to be doing, but it gives you a good representation of before you saw what casting is like from like a wand perspective. And now we're seeing the sword and how different that combat is. Once we get our bow going, we'll see an even more different form of combat. Speaking of which, we have other staffs here. Chain lightning. This one is a combat hammer, a great hammer, a faith weapon. So I'm going to throw another of these axes on just to make an inventory slot exist. And then, you know, I'd like to keep them as discards, but we just don't have a lot of inventory space. So we can't open that door yet, but we can see up here, this is coming back to the same tower that we were at before. So everything kind of loops back on itself. I just see a node there that hasn't been harvested. Grab that. And again, here you can walk up and access this point that we saw from before. And then you can get on these and hop over and get back to here. So everything just loops back on itself incredibly. There's a guy that always hangs out up here. I find... Oh, there's two of them. Ow. Okay. goodness. Let me get myself together here. Okay. This is a very difficult game, especially on this difficulty. Can't mess around. Sometimes there's an extra person out here. So right here, there's a pole. And it's going to tell us, you need the gate lever handle. I'm going to drop on this guy's head. That's better. Mess hall key. That's going to help us get the gate lever handle. Used up all my energy before I got in there. All my stamina. So you see the circle around there. You need some of that green circle in order to do your abilities, but also dashing eats it up. So if you dash, 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 and then end up in combat, you know, sort of huffing your breath standing in front of the person. It's kind of the melee version. That one needs a storage room key of what they call a dead man's gun in an FPS game or in an actual combat scenario. When you show up with a gun that doesn't have any ammo in it. Okay. So this is the mess hall. I have to scrabble with these boys. Let's charge up. Oops. A little too overzealous there. Let's go back at that again. Now from this waypoint, the run back is down these stairs and across the courtyard, and you're back in. Super easy. Not a huge punishment. Gonna take your durability damage, you know, pretty classic concept, but not a big deal. Get some separation in the pack here.
You can't hide from me.
Took a hit so I could get a hit. That's gonna be enough for me to get my ability. Nope.
For the risen.
Oh, and a level up.
Thank you, stranger.
This is Fillmore. He's going to be your smith in town.
From reaching Sacrament's walls, but I got my damn fool self trapped too.
Always good to pick that up in advance, so that when you come back, it's already going to be there, ready to go.
Not a soldier. Huh? Name's Fillmore. If you ever need anything repaired, you come to me. Nothing out here. This will open the gate. Get yourself to Sacrament. Through. Keep a careful eye out. I heard some of these risen speak of a foul presence outside the city's gate.
So he gives us our first vendor opportunity, which is prudent and thankful. I'm going to sell just about everything. I'm pretty happy with this sword. I'll keep that little wand. You're not going to be able to handle a bigger shield for a while. Cloth I don't want. I'm going to get rid of this ring. The spare tools can all go. I still need a shovel. These are twin pants. Basically the same. Sacrament Guardian are these ones. Ditch one. I'd like to be able to wear leather armor. I don't have the capacity for it yet. And I might if I switch pants. Or if I get my weapon changed out. So I'll keep these for the moment. You can repair. Good. What can I buy from him? Can I get... Hello. Short bow. I'll take it. Let's have a look. Okay, bow. Pretty low now in the weight. So I can probably get away with leather armor. Not quite leather pants, but I do have a leather hat on already. Well, I'll show you the intro to the game here. Moon Studios. Here's my selection of characters. It's going to get a little confusing now with the hats. Not entirely sure what happened there, but I had a bit of a crash happen. I have had a little bit of bugs happening just recently. I say previous to that, I was not encountering those, so maybe I'll flag the team. Something that hotfix has happened. Something you're going to get in an early access game, not a concern. So here we are talking to... Oh, right. So we have just got a bow. And I'm just getting leather armor on. And I see that that brings me into heavy. And I don't want to be into that space because it changes my movement pattern. So for now... Oh, it's close, eh? Well, I have a level up, so let's have a look. If I hit equipment load, look at that. It just drops me into normal. And now I'm going to beef up dexterity directly. Because that bow is feeding dexterity. Okay, so I'm at the max of normal at 120. I'm wearing leather, leather, leather. I don't have gloves. I'm still missing a shovel. I don't have a ring. And I have my short bow. My short bow has the special move called Skyfall Shot. Not my favorite. Not bad. It's this. I don't want to have things that close to me in the first place. But it has value. Okay, so. Show you another hidden loot. Tightrope walk across here. Beautiful vista while the tightrope goes on as well, which is super distracting for the tightrope. Hunter's axe. Strength weapon. But again, all of these are still just level 10s. Okay. Now, there is... Can I get up this way to do it? Yeah, there is. Okay. I can drop down here. First sidling opportunity here. Look at this. Sidle, 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 sidle. You come in here, get your chest. This is where it's like, yeah... It's a little lengthy sometimes. Now, you can climb up those stairs and enter that combat, or you can do this and sneak up here. You don't need to do this combat at all, by the way, but if you want to, you can. Now, I am gonna just press X now and just do my regular shots. Wherever I can, I want to have that height advantage for these guys. That's fine. Where are we here? Oh yeah, that's already respawned in there. That's the courtyard from before. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna drop into there. Oh, we shouldn't grab that item. Okay. So now we're actually a dexterity character. We're actually an archer. See, as you loot this chest, it zooms in and shows you that item. Just to force you to remember that it's there. Teases you with it, though. Okay. Again, this way, down, the mess hall. Down this left chamber. We've cleared it now, so we're just going to go up and collect that item. Just like this. Step down carefully. See that rope trolley system? We'll get a chance to use that later. Wretched archer pants. Can I be a wretched archer? Is that going to mess up my weight? It's not. I am now a wretched archer. I love it. Okay. We have the handle. Let's go install the handle. Right, so we respawned the game, so we are gonna have repops. Likely. Up here? No, yes, no. A paddle. Huge weapon. Breaking their defenses. Start picking away at this guy. So we gotta get a status effect going on this. Right now the damage is low. This is a pretty tough opponent though. Down here. Chipped coal. Useful in the early game, especially for building out that city. So this elevator, I'm going to show you a part of it later on. We'll go up later on. But for now I want to show you this. Hit the switch and hide up here. Let the elevator come up. Now you're on this like under part of the elevator. So get on this one. Come down. First area you want to go is here. There's usually a chest, if not a little blue thing here. Another hat. This one with a little bonus on it. Day 37, surveilling this miserable rut. The Orban glades smell of rot. All day I hear the wet squelch of my boots sucking mud, and all night I try and fail to warm my socks by the fire. Strange figures call this swamp home. Years of bog life has rotted away their lower limbs. Something else, perhaps, has rotted away their minds. It might be time to petition to bring my survey to a close. Again, this is a lateral kick down door for ourselves later. But this is the way to access. I got used to just pressing X. This chest here, which is usually very handy. More wretched archer pants. A tunic. A herb. A mushroom. And this is the tower ladder from before, if we remember. So we're right back here again. We've now done this whole loop, and we're right back to our location. So I'm going to take you right now to the next they're called whispers, kind of like a waypoint. Over here. Nice little hidden piece. Crab stuffed mushroom. Lovely food choice. Always good to have food sources. And we can't get across here just yet. So we are going to have to go up. So the early part of this game, they definitely make you earn everything you do. You gotta work your way up there. Just battles along the way. One battle after another. Oh boy. Yeah, this is not going well. We got this. We got this. Yeah, you're mine now. Nice. Okay, you can definitely fall off the back of this, but it does give you a chance to have a view down there. So carefully. Look at the view from up here. Okay, you know what? Let's park it here for the moment. We'll come back to it. So, thank you very much for checking this out. So again, it's been No Rest for the Wicked. We made it up to level 4. We currently have 14 decks. 13 equipment load. We have the classic wide brim hat that my intellect characters use. As you can see, one of my favorites. But that will not be the long-term hat for this character, I don't think. I don't know. We'll see what kind of sort of outfit we want to go with. This is, I think, the great sort of fire mage look in this game. As tough as you can get as a fire mage. This one I'm quite enjoying, but I am looking for this armor in this playthrough. That's a tasty armor. Okay, so again, this has been Do It Now, playing No Rest for the Wicked. Thank you very much.